Hello all heroes and welcome back to Invincible Guarding the Globe, and today I'm gonna do something a little bit different today. I of course, as you all know, the game had a massive update introducing skill upgrades to the game very recently, which has changed the game for a lot of different characters. Some didn't get a lot of improvement, some got massive improvement. I batted around the idea of just going over each character again, but I think the way I want to do it is I actually want to start comparing different characters. Like, for example, let's say you're trying to decide on if you want to build character A or character B. Maybe these videos will help you decide which one you want to do. So I think that's what we're going to do here. I'll come up with a goofy little name for this, or it's like, who's better or something. But today, we want to go over two characters that have become actual titans in the game as a result of the skill upgrade update, and that is Robot and Adam Eve. The battle of the best supports of the game here. I'm not including Green Ghost in this one because Green Ghost is a quirky support at best. She kind of is more of an attacker support as opposed to a tried and true support that these two are. So we're gonna leave Green Ghost out of that fight, and we're just gonna deal with Robot and Adam Eve. Before the update, before the skill upgrades, Robot was undeniably the best one. That one was pretty well known. He's the best and frankly only healer in the game pre-skill updates. So I suppose if you want to know who's better at vanilla without any skill upgrades, it'd be Robot. But let's start getting into it, because part of this game's big thing now is going to be grinding for those skill materials, and you might only be able to do one. You might want to do either Robot or Adam Eve because it is a pretty high investment cost. So let's talk about them both here. First of all, with Robot, his main ability here, aerial power. Hovering above the ground, he unleashes a massive energy field that heals all of his allies by 10% and applies a debuff on enemies, reducing their defenses by 5%. Those stats go up, and then at level 6, he actually gets a silence for 2 seconds, which can go up to 3 seconds at level 10. So basically, his main thing, his main ability, no matter what, is just a massive heal and an enemy debuff, making it a nice little combination of a defensive buff for your allies and making him a nice little debuffer on the enemies. A very nice little buff there, especially once you do get it to level 6 and beyond, because you get that silence as well, which can be immensely helpful. Contrasting to Adam Eve's ability, Adam Eve casts a shield equal to 5% of her max HP on the two allies with the least HP, and herself, lasting 5 seconds. That goes up to basically the entire team, a shield lasting for 20 seconds, and it can remove debuffs. So this one is a really big one, where it's like, okay, massive investment costs on this ability. But it is basically a team-wide defense buff of 20% of her max HP, and being a support character, her max HP is going to be pretty decent. Nice thing is, it's off max HP and not current HP, which means even if she's close to death, that's not going to hurt her too much. So here's the difference between these two characters and their main abilities. At base, Robot's is undeniably better. However, if you invest into it, it's like, here's the thing. This is a heal of 15% of Robot's max HP. But this is a shield of 20% of Adam Eve's max HP. And it lasts 10 seconds, which means most likely it's not going to go the full duration. 10 seconds is pretty long at max out. It's hard to say which of these is better. The real kicker here is that you really got to invest in this one. Now, you can get up to 4 allies if you take it up to level 7, which can be a little less painful. It's also worth mentioning that cooldown is 18 seconds, whereas Robot's main ability, the cooldown is 25 seconds. So Adam Eve's does have the cooldown speed kind of advantage on that one, but it needs investment. It needs massive, massive investment. So looking at the next abilities here, Elite Plus on both of them. Crime doesn't pay. When fighting against Married to the Mob, Robot increases the team's healing effects by 10%. That can go up to 30%. And then for Adam Eve's Elite Plus, when fighting with any member of Teen Team, the shields bounce back 5% of any damage received, going up to 15%. Even at base, this is the one instance where Adam Eve pretty easily wins. Reason for that is, first of all, this requires you to be going against Married to the Mob characters. And no. It's just too specific, and getting a healing boost is okay, but not enough of a buff to make it really worth the resources. Adam Eve's, on the other hand, turns her already impressive shields into basically extra damage for your entire team when she shields. Keeping in mind, too, if you get this leveled up, it's going on everybody. All your allies are getting a shield. They're getting a shield, they're getting a shield, everybody's getting a shield. So, this plays very nicely. Now, it does require you to run with Teen Team, but we do have a few options for that. We do have Robot here, who is Teen Team, which I know we're pitting them against each other right now. But if you do run Adam Eve in the same team as Robot, that does work out. I don't think you're Teen Team. No, you're not. If you run her with a Duplicate, that can work. If you run her with a Rexplode, that could work. The only thing that really holds that skill back is there's not a lot of Teen Team characters in the game, if we're being totally honest. Which, I mean, I guess to be fair, even in the show, there's what, 4 characters? There's Rexplode, Adam Eve, Duplicate, Robot. I mean, unless I'm forgetting something, that's pretty much it. So, admittedly, this skill, it's a great skill with an aggressive restriction. Whereas this one is an restriction with a very ability. Regardless, Adam Eve gets the win on the Elite Plus skill. It also doesn't hurt that I have the Duplicate built up. But this is the one instance where Robot and Adam Eve, for the purposes of our comparisons here, are gonna blend together very nicely. Now, moving on to the Exceptional Plus, every 15 seconds he creates a healing aura, which at level 10 goes up to a maximum of 25%. This is another one, and I'm not sure how people feel on this one. It's a very selfish heal, because he plops it where he is, but by nature of him being a ranged character, he's really not supposed to be in the thick of the fight. Now, that's not always going to be the case. Sometimes he does get pulled into things one way or another. Either he goes to the enemy or the enemy comes to him. Things can happen. But I've never been a gigantic fan of this ability. It's okay, and if one of your if one of your allies gets pushed into it, great, cool, they get some healing. But it is a very selfish heal, and the upgrades to it are slim at best. Now, if we take a look at Exceptional Plus for Adam Eve, when any ally receives a shield, which remember is going to be happening a lot through this bad boy, at level 10, the shield value is increased by 10%, with a cap of 50% of her max HP. And then, the ally receiving the shield is actually healed. So at level 10, that's a 9% heal. Again, this one is just better in my opinion, because not only does it make these shields bulkier, but it gives Adam Eve the much needed healing, especially once you do get it maxed out. And finally, this is where Robot kind of tries to fight back here. Is Rockets Away. Level 1 here fires a couple rockets that stuns the enemy for 1 second and applies 100% damage over the course of 5 seconds. The ability has a 20-second cooldown. That stun goes up to a whopping 3 seconds and applies more damage. Stuns are great. Stuns are delightful, and a 3-second stun in this game might as well be an eternity. You shut down the enemy for 3 seconds, that is nice. That is really nice. Now, if we take a look at Adam Eve's Epic Plus ability, at base it's pretty bad. Throws one projectile to random targets. If the projectile hits an enemy, deals some damage. If it hits an ally, heals 50% of her max HP. With a 30-second cooldown, it adds one projectile every 30 seconds. That means that she will use this maybe 3 times in a fight. Probably not even that. However, level 10, now you're cooking something. It goes down to 25 seconds, which means you can actually properly use it, factoring in the timers. She throws 5 projectiles. It has a massive base damage increase, and it heals 25% of her max HP. This is one of the biggest glow-ups I think I've ever seen for an ability in this game. Because most other characters, their abilities started out decent and got better. This one started out trash and went freaking nuts. Going from 1 projectile to 5 means you're either gonna slam and jam on some damage, or you might just straight up full-blown heal an ally. I mean, just getting that spread out, it'll trigger a little faster. It basically becomes just an extra main ability, where she just sends out those projectiles, and everybody's happy. So, a lot of competition there on the Elite Plus skill. So, here's my opinions on which character is better. Like I said, Robot is better at base. Robot is undeniably better at base. You can build him up and not put anything into his skills, and he works just fine. And you really just kind of want to avoid these two, period. The Crime Doesn't Pay and Recharge, you can ignore. I mean, this one's okay, but situational. And this one's a very selfish heal, where the circle of healing is pretty small. You're cooking in this ability and this ability. Massive healing with some impressive debuffs, especially level 10, and a stun ability with some pretty healthy damage while you're at it. Adam Eve, on the other hand, all of her abilities work together so well. She has no duds, with the exception of maybe this one. But then again, as long as you put her with, like, Robot, or Duplicate, or Explode, those shields are basically going to be an extra form of impressive damage. And with these two abilities here, the shields will be bulky. They will take a punch. And then this ability here, Hurt and Heal, healing and damage condensed into one very tasty ability. So, here's my advice here. First of all, you're going to want to build both these characters. Robot is fantastic, and you barely need to invest in him at all for him to work. And Adam Eve has gotten fantastic. But that's the wording, is has gotten fantastic. She doesn't start out all that great, in my opinion. She was ranked really high in the beginning, which I'm not sure I agree with that completely. But she is undeniably, at base, worse than Robot. But I would say, pound for pound, let's say you need to choose one to max invest in, the ceiling for Adam Eve is higher. And that's really the wording there, is Robot's floor is higher, but Adam Eve's ceiling is higher. You put some work into her, especially get her main ability here powered up, and then probably strength through shielding next, followed by hurt and heal, and then blowback. See, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because none of her abilities are duds, but consequently you need to give all of her abilities some love. But if you do, Adam Eve will end up better than Robot. However, pre-investment, Robot is better. Let's not deny that. Pre-investment, Robot is better, and if you do give Robot some investment, you really only need to level up 2 of his abilities as opposed to all 4 of Adam Eve's. You just level up Aerial Power, and you level up Rockets Away, and boom, you're done. You can just ignore these 2. You can literally ignore these 2 abilities. He doesn't need them. These 2 abilities are just that good. So, take that as you will, but frankly, build both of them, you know? Just build both of them. I mean, like I said, I'm saying that Adam Eve is technically higher at max, technically better at max, but just build both of them, man. Robot, you even get a Robot for free in the beginning. He's a fantastic healer and is still the best healer in the game. It's just Adam Eve with her shields, if you do get her leveled up and maxed out with her skills, they're no joke. They are no joke. But just give them both some love. You will need plenty of teams for GDA ops, for Cecil's Nightmares. But if you have to choose one to give your hard-earned skill level materials into, go for Adam Eve. So that is gonna do it for today. Let me know how you like this kind of context of going over the characters. Like I said, I thought about just doing like revisits of like Invincible and Green Ghost, Robot, and Adam Eve, characters I talked about before. But I feel like this is a more interesting context because, yeah, I could go over each character every day. But you really have to decide who you actually want to give your materials to, because I'm hoping they change this in the near future. But right now, molecular enhancements they're worth more than gold right now. And I don't mean this gold, I mean like actual gold. These things, you'd have a better chance getting a chunk of gold out of a river than you have getting a nice number of molecular enhancements. They're rare. They're really rare. I really hope they give this GDA off some love in the near future, because this team I've got here, I mean, it's not my best team, but it's no slacker. I'm up to 6, man. So, you know, take that how you will. Take that as some feedback. I hope we get a little bit of an improvement on the numbers there. But I'm going to leave it at that. So let me know which character you think is better down in the comments below. Frankly, the correct answer is that they're just both good. That's the correct answer. Let's be honest here. They're both great. But I wanted to pick one, and I pick Adam Eve. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below, and we shall see you next time. Have a good one.